I recently sat with Andrew Bermudez, Bucky Beeman, and Natalie Wainwright. We discussed how eXp Commercial offers a different opportunity in commercial real estate and what separates it from the national brands. Let's take a deeper dive.
So I think that just replaying it back offline, what we discussed is probably the biggest difference I hear is the revenue share potential, especially when you're dealing with like a publicly traded company. So that's immediately what comes to mind is like the difference in probably what eXp offers versus a lot of other specifically commercial firms. And then the other thing we discussed is just like there is a cap to how much the brokerage takes, and then eventually you get your 100%, which I think that model has been played out depending on the firm in all parts of the country. So yeah, maybe go on to the revenue model and kind of what the proposition is if you were trying to.
So tell us a little bit about, you know, you were running Windwater, and then just recently you started working with eXp. Tell us kind of like how that partnership works and kind of why you're doing it in the first place, and tell us about sort of like, you know, this new model that you see in commercial real estate.
I mean, what it really comes down to is this: by utilizing the eXp platform, I can instantly offer any agent that I'm attempting to recruit to my firm the ability for ownership, revenue participation, and global networking exposure, which those three things alone are typically in the top priorities of what a broker is looking for, right? Everybody wants to know that they're in a place where they're going to capture the biggest percentage of the revenue they generate. So the splits are amazing. Like we mentioned, it's $20,000 cap. So 20% up to $20,000. Once you pay that $20,000 into the house, you're on 100% split. So that is pretty much unbeatable.
That's per year.
Per year.
Okay.
And then on top of that, you instantly, because they're publicly traded, you instantly have the ability to have ownership in the company, right?
So like shares in the company?
Absolutely. You can buy it on the market and you can earn it. So on the commercial side, once you gross 500,000 in any given year, you earn the 20,000 that you paid in back in stock.
Okay,
so,
cool.
So you basically, you know, if you're a pretty decent volume agent, if you're grossing $500,000 a year, you're not paying anything in participation. You're exchanging $20,000 of split for $20,000 of stock in a company that's growing fast. So that opportunity in itself, to me, was something that becomes talent attraction and talent retention. And then on a kind of side note, the other cool feature is that, as you guys may know, one of the biggest frustrations for a broker or brokerage owner is you build up your team, you teach, you know, new agents how to generate business, and then they either renegotiate with you because they feel like they deserve more, or they go somewhere else because somebody offers them a better opportunity. I mean, it's just the way things happen, right? Somebody pays them to move their business to some other firm. So the great thing about eXp is I can show newer agents how to build business. I can attract agents to our team, right? They can come join me, and then at whatever point that they feel they want to do something on their own, we can help them build their own brand, build their own brokerage, build their own company. And because of the revenue share program, you continue to benefit from it. Because if you initially brought them into the platform, and even if they go off and build their own team, but continue to use the eXp platform as that mentor or as that initial, you know, sponsor, you benefit from their future revenue. Yeah, I think the thing that is probably going to create the most opportunity is the fact that you can continue to work as an independent brand. So for me, that's huge because you can separate yourself or distinguish yourself amongst that platform. So take advantage of the platform, but if you have an idea, if you have a brand, so like, for example, we continue with our Windwater brand. Everything we market, everything we do is under Windwater, and we're powered by eXp. So there's our broker of record. And we use that platform for all of its benefits, but you don't have to give up that independence. You don't have to give up your vision. You just utilize their platform to accelerate and create the efficiencies in whatever it is that you're trying to build.
So basically you're using eXp as a back end for your own brand. So you have control, but you're using the back end.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's my personal experience. So you know, there are different ways, right? There are independent agents that are one-off that go and work with the eXp commercial brand, and that's, they don't think about anything else, and you know, it gives you the ability to instantly, if you're a one-off guy, go join this team, be on amazing splits, and you know, use their resources. But then you have, on the other side of the spectrum, you know, like myself, you have companies, existing companies that were already established commercial real estate brokerages, and you become attracted to this for scalability. Like, I instantly now can scale to all 50 states, which was going to take me years, right? I can instantly recruit agents and brokers across the country, and have them represent my brand and utilize my resources on top of eXp to scale, you know, the Windwater brand. And separate markets will be created just from people being allowed, from individuals being allowed to build. You know, you don't have restrictions. If you go work at any of the big brands, I 100% agree that you go there because you're guaranteed business. That's the only reason to be there, right? You're going there because that business card, that name is going to generate business on its own, and you're paying for it. You're paying 50% of your bill. But you can't come up with your own lead gen strategies and utilize them. You have to use kind of their structure. Whereas you join a platform like this, everybody's going to come up with different ideas to target different types of business, and you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to experiment. You're allowed to take the risk, and I feel like that's where the biggest growth is going to come, from just taking the restrictions off and offering an opportunity that allows you to stack as high as you can, and you know, try as many different things as you can think of, without the limitations of a franchise or a existing you know, corporate brand, or the expense, liability, and risk of starting your own, right? So like, if somebody wants to go off and start their own brokerage from scratch, you have to go get an office, you have to go get insurances, you have to go come up with a brand and the whatever it costs to come up with your, you know, marketing credentials and materials. So you start in a hole, right? There's like, it takes time. You have to manage your accounting. There you start to incur liabilities of, you know, HR. There's so many other non-real estate, you know, variables that you have to concern yourself with. So that's always held people back, right, from starting their own companies. They just didn't want to be distracted. They wanted to sell real estate. They wanted to focus on deals. So now this opportunity allows you to tap into all of that. You have existing back end, you have existing insurances, you have you know, your accounting, you have all of that taken care of. You stay focused on real estate, but now you can build your brand. You can build a company within their company. And I feel like that is the most exciting part to me, and to anybody who has that entrepreneurial mindset, that wants to have more control of their upside, of their opportunities, but still wants to be tapped into a network, you know, something that is proven. So here, I feel like it's the best of both worlds. You get a $6 billion company, and you get freedom to go build and capture the rewards.
Okay, so I know that we're coming up to time, but I just have to ask. So obviously, you know, your background is a long time in commercial real estate. You're in a very large market. You've been doing this a long time, and you have your own brand. you know, if you could put like a 2-sentence marker together, why would you, and I think you just did, but if you could really put it into a bite-sized piece, because people are going to watch this and be like, why did Rudy do this? Put it into a bite-sized piece. Why did you make this decision to go with eXp?
2 sentences are, I can do what I envision doing much faster. And
Okay. So the ability to scale like that.
Scale overnight with
Okay.
the backing and the validation of an existing publicly traded multi-billion-dollar company.